So what is the difference between JUnit and TestNG? So JUnit has a very limited annotations, right? You see @before all, @before each, @after all, @after each, @test. 5 annotations maximum. But TestNG, you have very rich annotation support is there. First point. Second point, JUnit is developed by Kent Beck and Eric Gummer, but TestNG was developed by Best Cedric. Third point, you can group the test cases in JUnit using @category. So @category will use or @tag now. Before it was category was there, now it changed it to @tag. So your test method above, you can write @tag and the group name you can give. But in TestNG, you can give @test bracket groups equal to, you can give group name like this. The curly bracket region, put it in double quotes, the group name. That grouping of the test cases is possible in both the JUnit and TestNG. But in the JUnit, you have to use @tag. And if you want to run parallel execution, JUnit is not possible, very limited. You cannot do that. But in TestNG, you can do thread pool size equal to 3, invocation count equal to 9. If you specify, your test cases will run parallel. But there are other ways also you can do. That is very easy in TestNG, but JUnit it's a bit difficult. So parameterization and data-driven testing, you can do in TestNG very easily using @data provider annotation. That annotation is not present in JUnit. That's another point. And you cannot prioritize the test cases in JUnit. If multiple test cases are there, you want to run particular test case first. You don't have that prioritization in JUnit. But in TestNG, you can prioritize the test cases. That's another very important concept. And next concept also important. In JUnit, you cannot set the dependency among test methods, but you can set the dependency among test methods with the TestNG annotations. @test depends on methods, and you give the method name. So this test method depends on which method you can specify in TestNG. That option you don't have in JUnit. Prioritizing the test case also you don't have in JUnit. You can skip the test cases in JUnit and TestNG, both you can do. Skipping, how you can do in TestNG, @test bracket enabled equal to false you have to write. But the same in JUnit, you can do @test above you write @disabled. Automatically that test case is not considered for execution. Suppose if you see here, so here 2 test methods are there, right? So I don't want to run this test method. I can just put this so disabled. Then this test method won't consider for execution. Just import it. See, now this test method is not going to execute. Let's execute this. This is how you can skip the test cases temporarily. If you put @disabled on the above @test, it will skip in JUnit. In TestNG, @test bracket enabled equal to false you have to write. See, only tab 1 is executed. That's going to complete the test case. Program execution will be completed. See, done. If you see, if you go to JUnit, only one will be run. So this is the no blocked. This is 2 by 2, one skipped. So it's very clearly saying one skipped, one ran only. So you can skip the test cases in JUnit and both JUnit and TestNG. So that's the how you can see JUnit and TestNG differences. So another most important thing is reports are very important in either any automation tool you take. Reporting is very important. Otherwise, how do you know how many test cases are ran, how many test cases are failed? To see that, how many test cases are passed, failed, and skipped, how do we know that? To know that, reporting structure is very important. So in JUnit, reporting is not that much good. But in TestNG, reporting is very, very nicely given to you. So you have 3 reports. All 3 reports will give you nicely in the HTML format that you can use. Okay. These are the differences between JUnit and TestNG. So please go through this JUnit and TestNG differences.